we're talking about late 2006, early 2007, so that's almost 7 years later, and you're finally being listened to. Talk us through, you were elected that year, 2006 to the council on a kind of anti-Lyons ticket.
Anti-Lyons
Just talk us a wee bit through that.
That was quite eventful as well. Like, obviously, the Lyons family were not happy, so they made it a bit rough for us. Like, you know, trying to attack. As I said, some of my workers were attacked at polling stations. There was threats dished out to myself. You know, I wouldn't see the council, all that kind of stuff to intimidate me. So I would back off and not stand. But as I said, we got a sort of landslide thing, mate. Victory, a Labour seat for 60, 70 years, and they were ousted. I got in an SNP ticket.
And how long were you a councillor for?
2006 to 16.
Actually, 10 years. Following your election, you saw a lot of intimidation during the campaign, if you like. What happened after? Did it kind of all die away? Was that a kind of big the change? Were you able to get on with kind of normal?
No, it still went on for a while after that. Like, you know, as I said, I had an incident at my surgery, and they were trying to assault me. Like, you know, they blew up my car and that.
So you had your car blown up. Is this before the murder at the MOT station?
No, it was after it.
After.
Yeah.
So
I was in office at the time, like, you know, and I was doing my
the violence kind of continued.
Yeah, it did for a while, like, you know.
When did it die away? When would there come a point when you were able to kind of operate normally and without sort of looking over your shoulder?
Well, I don't know if that's correct. Like, you know, stop looking over my shoulder. I was always aware of the danger because you just never know with these people, and we now understand the extent of the violence they were meting out. So I was always aware of. I mean, I had police protection and that for a good while. So,
over what period did you have the police protection?
Probably 26 to maybe 210.
And you mentioned that your regular death threats. Where was it? The firebombing of your car? When
that was at the Milton Community Centre.
And when was that? When was that? Can you remember when that was?
Oh, I can't remember the exact date. Like,
but it was after the.
It was after the shooting.
The shoot after your election. So
yeah, after my election, I was in office because I was doing my surgery. You do weekly surgeries, like so. It was one of them.
Have you ever physically assaulted, or was it more sort of threats and intimidation?
At a meeting, after a meeting, that was at the Milton Community Centre again, at not Churnside, at another centre.
Okay.
And he got a bit upset.
So we say you were certainly threatened with assaults, and obviously there was death threats and your car setting fire. That was always that element. It was always that undercurrent, wasn't it? You're always kind of looking over your shoulder.